Can we solve this quadratic equation? Or do we even recognize it as a quadratic equation? So that's kind of a good question. So when you see something, maybe it's better to kind of put it in the form that we're familiar with. So I'm going to take these terms, rearrange them using our algebra tools, and set it equal to 0. So I have a 2x squared, subtract 4x from both sides, subtract 1 from both sides, and now I was able to rearrange that initial offering into our standard quadratic expression where I'm able to identify my a, b, and c's. So a equals a 2, b equals a -4, c equals a -1. So from there, I can use a quadratic equation, which is minus b. It's always good to write it down because I always forget. So minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Insert the values. So I have a negative b. My b is -4. So that's why I'm going to put parentheses around it because my b term is the entire -4. Minus a -4 plus or minus the square root of negative b, or b, which is a -4 squared, minus 4 times a times c all over a 2 times an a. And I hope you find it helpful to put parentheses around those values so we keep track of the signs of each of the terms. Solving this, it becomes 4 plus or minus 16 plus 8 all over a 4. 16 plus 8. So I have 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 8. What is that, 24? All over a 4. Square root of 24, that looks like we can simplify that. So this, on my work paper, square root of 24, its perfect terms are 4 and 6. So this becomes the square root of 4 times the square root of 6, which becomes 2 times the square root of 6. So using that, then I have 4 plus or minus 2 root 6 over a 4. And there's still a little bit more cleanup work to do. I can factor a 2 out of the numerator. So I have 2 times 2 plus or minus root 6 all over a 4, which is a 2 times a 2. From there, you can see that I have a pair of 2's that factor out. And then I'm left with my final solution being 2 plus or minus root 6 all over a 2. And that is my final 2 solutions. 2 plus root 6 over 2 and 2 minus root 6 over 2. And again, this is my final solution. Some of us are going to be tempted and want to go on and try to maybe cancel out those 2's. And we're left with just plus or minus root 6. We can't do that. Don't do that. If you get the urge of doing that, throw something heavy on your foot or something so you don't do that. I cannot cancel out these 2's because this 2 is part of a summation. It's a 2 plus or minus something. It's not 2 by itself. The only time we can factor out those 2's is if I had something that was maybe 2 times root 6 over a 2. Then I could factor those 2's out. But when I have 2 plus a root 6 over a 2, I cannot factor those 2's out. So my final solution here is 2 plus or minus root 6 all over a 2. Done, finished, wrap it up, go home, tie a bow on it.